This afternoon, you are part of a marvelous, magnificent, mesmerizing experience. Fine people have gathered from the north, south, east, and the west, celebrating the journey of Sophie Phelps in this land called blessed. We are celebrating a great spirit who can be traced back to the ancient beginnings when the great I Am spoke the word. And the word was life, and life was imbued with a rhythm, and the rhythm of life needed a beat, a Sophie Phelps beat. Honey cured in silk, then dipped in syncopated, sanctified, stylish soul, searching for the best in life and people with boiling urgency and audacious sincerity. So come with me as I tell you a story about love. You know, there's nothing like a good love story based on truth. It's good for the soul, especially when it's a Maxwell House good, percolating good, good to the last drop good, really, really, really good love story. Sometimes delayed, but never denied, because it is destined to become a love deluxe. A good love story is like Dorothy fist-bumping the stars that loiter in the midnight sky on her way home, singing "If You Believe," then slapping a high five with the rainbow after she finally gets home. So come with me as I tell you a story about the power and the glory of a deep love that goes a long way back. A story about our Sophie. Now, Sister Sophie loved everybody and everybody loved her. She had that special gift of being non-judgmental, which meant that she could reach the rule benders and the repeat offenders, the hip-hoppers and the senior rockers, the finger-poppers and the show-stoppers, the perpetrating intellectual name-droppers, and the Skid Row need-a-hand-up door-knockers. She stood in the vanguard for her friends. She was an emotional safeguard, and we held her in high spiritual regard. That was our Sophie. Prior to her membership at 31st Street, she was a member of the First Congregational Church of Morrisania in the Bronx. That's in New York, you know, where she served as a trustee and was a Sunday school teacher for 20 years. Footnote, she was also a member of the Active Adults Church Circle, which was, should we say, a bicameral body known as the AAs and the BBs. The AAs worked for the Spirit of the Lord. The BBs did too, but sometimes their work took them to Saks Fifth Avenue for shopping transformation, to Broadway for the theater revival, to the Ebony Fashion Show for rejuvenation, and on occasion to the Count Basie Band of Renown, but I digress. Anyway, wherever they went, you could rest assured that Sister Sophie, who was known for styling at every church or ecumenical function at the junction, would be clean as the Board of Health clean, sharp as 14-karat gold sharp, straight as 6 o'clock straight, sanctified, certified, qualified. Child, she was what we call hidden and holden with no indication of folding. All that while blessing the world with a precious gold mine, her 4 children. There's Cornelius, the oldest, the charming intellectual who can hold electrifying conversations and understand philosophical ramifications. Everett, the quiet, towering strength with the big heart and keen, inquiring mind. There's Kenneth, a great leader and an inspiring change agent who fell in love with the West Coast, but never fell out of love for home. And last but not least, one daughter, Deborah, who exemplifies the polished grace, make you fall out laughing wit, charm, and intelligence of her mother. Another footnote, the children got upstaged just a little bit when the precious grandchildren came about, because those grandchildren were the icing on Sister Sophie's cake. That's Everett Jr. and Natasha, known as Tasha. I think that's why God made it so children come before grandchildren. Otherwise, you might skip children and go to the next phase. And then when that cute little great-grand Natalia came along, she became Sophie's hope diamond and pride and joy. She would pick Natalia up from school and have the best time driving down the road. Now that I think about it, Sister Sophie didn't learn to drive until she was 60 years old. Wasn't that bold and bodacious? Honey, she had more nerve than Detroit's Got Cars, more verve than Kenneth's L.A. Stars, More ideas than any doctor's got pills, more IQ points than Beverly's got heels, more admirers than any airplane has got gauges, and more talent than even Facebook's electronic pages. Sophie was a teacher, traveler, adventurer, and connoisseur of life's finer things like family, beauty, friendship, fidelity. Sophie was love personified. She could make you have a new attitude. Sophie was like Maxwell House, good to the last drop. Sophie was like Grace, so amazing. Sophie was like the Energizer Bunny you got as a special surprise gift for Christmas 25 years ago. But it just kept going and going and going until one day the piece de la resistance, a deep sleep. Now let's imagine Sophie had a vision. A new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And then she saw the holy city, the New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared just like a bride adorned for her husband. And then she could hear a loud voice from the throne saying, "See, the home of God is among mortals. He will dwell among them as their God, and they will be his people, and God's self will be with them. God's going to wipe every tear from their eyes. Death will be no more. Mourning and crying and pain will be no more, for the first things have passed away." And the one who was seated on the throne said, "I am making all things new." So understand this, for these words are trustworthy and true. It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Sophie Phelps, well done. Your friends are saying thank you. They just want to thank you one more time, because when you love someone, you just can't help yourself. Thank you for your sweet wisdom, genuine kindness, original wit. Thank you for your devotion to the sister circle, expressed through your sisterly love supreme. Thank you for showing us what it is to run this race with unrelenting grace, and for explaining to those of us trying to make it to 80 that God is God all by God's self. Some things bring pause and cause to respect, revere, celebrate, and give thanks. So thank you for quilting a marvelous tapestry of love into our lives, stitched with God's special applique upon our hearts, woven into our spirits with 24-karat gold divine thread, and then bonded into our souls with unmitigated, sanctified love. So thank you for your story. You stood by it and stuck to it. We just want to thank you for being you.
The coming, oh, the glory of the Lord. He is tramping out vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He'll loose a faithful lightning, his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea. The glory, his bosom, he transfigured you and me. As he died to make me holy, let us die to make God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. It's truth is marching on. Hallelujah, in the beauty of the lilies. Christ was born across the sea with the glory in his bosom. He transfigured you and me as he died to make me holy. Let us start to make him free. Our God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, 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 hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. Yeah, Lord. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is my king. Glory, 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 hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Oh,